Uh, I'm bored and I really need to do something. So I'm thinking I'm going to build a smart home. I need a smart home that can just open and close my switches, and I also want something that can give me more security to my home. Basically, I'm looking to build a camera system that can record if anyone comes into my home. So there needs to be ground rule before I start to build this. It needs to be 100% local and it never touches cloud. And most of the code should be developed by me, all cloud. Now on to the first thing. I want to be able to open and close my switches, lights, fans, whatever, using my phone. And I should be able to access it from anywhere. And second thing is, I live in a rented apartment, so it should not be something that destroys my home. So I'm thinking of using a servo motor that will physically turn on and off the switches. So I've written this Arduino code, and this is just for testing basically. So it's going to register the servo motor and it moves to it to the rest position. So when the motor is in rest position, it needs to move, click the switch and come back. So that's what it's going to do. First, it's going to open the light using this, then it's going to delay for 10 seconds, and then it's going to close the light. So let's test this. I have opened the Arduino. Okay, so the angle was not right and it did not close. So, second attempt. I have increased the angle that it's going to go through. So now it should close properly and we can see it in action. It worked. It's able to close and I think it can open. Yeah, okay, that's fantastic. I think it's time to develop the UI. I am just. Well, jokes aside, I want to explain you the architecture of the code. So the whole code is basically built around MQTT, and MQTT is just a message broker that is going to convey messages to and from. So it runs on a pub sub model. Basically, publisher will publish a message to a channel and subscriber can subscribe to that channel. There can be multiple subscriber to a channel and they all will receive the same message. So publisher will publish, and if there are multiple subscribers that are subscribed to same channel, they are going to get the same message. But there's a problem with this that I faced. That is, it's a fire and forget by default, and we need to change that. So if you are writing a code, you need to change the mode so that it is at least sending the message once. And subscriber will need to send a confirmation message back that it has received the message so that I know that it has done. And if the subscriber is not sending the confirmation message back, that means something broke and I can just revert the state back to the old state of the. So there is MQTT that sits in the center of it, and then there is Arduino which is connected to switches that it will be able to control using the servo motor. Arduino will subscribe to a certain message that will be for it only. It will receive that is our API, a service that sets, which will send the command and wait for the confirmation message. The waiting for confirmation message is part of a service, background service, which will then go to the database and update the switch's state automatically. So just after the API sits our UI, where you will get the UI buttons to open and close your switches. And once you click them, it will trigger a HTTP call back to the API, which will then trigger the whole cycle of sending the command, getting the confirmation, and updating the database. And this is how the whole cycle works. And now that I have the system, I can just walk into my room and I can just take out my phone and open and close my switches. It feels amazing to be able to do that, and it looks pretty damn cool. Now let's talk about another issue that I have with this. I need to be able to reach out to my phone every time that I'm sitting on my desk or whenever I enter my room. That's not always optimal. It takes a lot of time to open the app, and if I'm not connected to the VPN, I have to connect to my VPN so that I can connect to my home and open the lights. And so I'm thinking about something, a dock that will continuously sit on my desk somewhere like attached to my screen that I can touch, and on a touch of a button light opens. It's always there, and so it's like a switch that is there. So I got a 3D model online to attach my phone to my monitor, and yeah, so I've printed it and attached it on the screen. So now I have a phone that's sitting there constantly. It's an old phone and it stays there. So whenever I sit on my desk, I can just open my lights. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm also working on a security system that I talked about, but this video is already long enough. So I'll put it in another video and see you guys soon.